gentlemen, welcome to the grand final of the Danish Darts Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation and coming to you from the amazing city of Copenhagen. Ladies and gentlemen, 48 players came, and now 2 remain as we present your finalists. Would you please welcome firstly from Australia, the former European champion, the former world finalist, a member of the elite Premier League, ladies and gentlemen, the Wizard, Simon Whitlock! And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Austria, a member of the elite Premier League and the winner of the Champions League, it's time to meet the gentleman, Suljovic!
Two men left standing in Copenhagen, and the first ever edition of the Danish Darts Open will culminate in either a second European Tour title for Mensur Suljovic, or it will culminate in a second European Tour title for Simon Whitlock. Suljovic has had to negotiate perhaps the more difficult route to get here, beating the world number 2 Peter Wright and the 2-time world champion Adrian Lewis in a pulsating semi-final. Now he must overcome an opponent who is playing in his first European Tour final in 4 years. They have already met twice on the European stage this year, 1 win apiece, but maybe, just maybe, the fact that when they met in the Premier League, over the course, or a slightly more extended course, it was Whitlock who came out on top on that occasion. It was a belting encounter in the Premier League, both players with averages well over 100. And I suspect we could be in for similar high standards once again this evening. 3 minutes to 11, the stage is set for the finale here in Denmark. Austria against Australia. Rob Malarkey in the commentary box for this one, and alongside me, Dan Dawson.
And it could not be more finely poised. The world number 6 and the world number 8. We will have a new winner on the Euro Tour this year. They've both won 1 title on the Euro Tour. As you say, they've both won 1 big televised title in the PDC. They are both averaging in the mid to high 90s, hitting just over 40% of their doubles.
First leg, Manchester to throw first. Game on.
the 10th and 11th finalists on the Euro Tour for 2018. This tournament has been a roaring success. The first venture into Denmark for the PDC. Look at the crowds, listen to the atmosphere, look at the quality and the drama that this tournament has created over the last 3 days. And it comes down to a former European champion and the reigning Champions League of darts winner to contest the final, first to 8 legs.
Suljovic with the advantage of throwing first. It may well come down to that. After all, he was involved in that epic semi-final that went the distance against Adrian Lewis. I suppose the one concern for Suljovic as well, this is his 5th European Tour final, but he's only managed to win 1 of those previous 4. He lost 2 European Tour finals last year, the 2 he was involved in, and he also lost in the final of the European Darts Trophy against MVG in 2016 as well. But he was the champion in Riesa 2 years ago for his first and so far only European Tour title. But he has had success elsewhere. The Champions League winner last year, a winner on the Pro Tour last year as well in the Players' Championship, and of course on the World Series stage in Germany just a few weeks ago.
122.
Well, Whitlock, this is his 4th Euro Tour final, but, you know, the other 3 were back in the early stages of the European Tour. It's been a long old wait for Simon Whitlock to get back in a final on the Euro Tour.
Yeah, his solitary title coming in 2012. He was the European champion as well, or when he won the European Championship, I should say. But yeah, this is his first Euro Tour final in 4 years as Suljovic looks at tops here for the opener.
154.
Yeah, beat some bloke called Nicholson, 6-1 in the final of the Dutch Darts Masters. What happened to him?
82. Messi record 40.
Mensur back at tops here, under a bit more pressure now. Remember, first to 8, as the graphic illustrates. Double 10 now for Mensur for the opener. And that will do very nicely indeed. Mensur's finishing against Adrian Lewis, I thought, was pretty good indeed. Very, very good indeed. 7 out of 12 on his doubles. He hit 4 180s as well during the course of that one. Lewis himself averaged over 102. Mensur coming through with an average of 99.91, his highest of the weekend so far. The tournament's average overall for Mensur, 98.25 prior to the final.
Yeah, well, Mensur has won all 3 games that he's played today with a lower average than his opponent, curiously.
But that's what he does sometimes, Mensur. In fact, he does it a lot.
And that is what the Wizard does quite a lot as well. His 15th 180 of this weekend.
The man who gave Suljovic the biggest run for his money, apart from Lewis, or another man who gave him a good run for his money, was Darren Webster in the 3rd round. 6-5. Mensur won that one. Webster, I thought the turning point was in the 7th leg when Suljovic held for a 4-3 lead with a 1-2-3 checkout after a series of back-to-back breaks.
60.
And I did think then maybe, just maybe, that might give them Gentle a bit of impetus to go on a deep run here this weekend. 16 for Whitlock to level.
Simon Whitlock. Third leg, Mentor to throw first. Game on.
12 darter from the Wizard. Great response from Australia's number 1. Made a big stage final, of course, a major final at the Grand Prix, was beaten by Daryl Gurney, but that was his first appearance in a stage final in PDC darts for a long, long while.
And of course he beat Mensur in the semi-finals as well in Dublin en route before losing to Daryl Gurney.
Yeah, well, he beat him there, he beat him in Sindelfingen, beat him in the Premier League. It's 6-all in the head-to-heads, very evenly matched, and that's why I think this final could be very, very close. But if you are looking at these two's records in finals, Simon Whitlock, his list of titles dwarfs Mensur Suljovic's. He's been playing PDC darts for a lot longer. He has 17 PDC titles compared to Mensor's 4. However, Mensor has won some more recently and some big ones. And his last 3 finals that he's been in, he's won them all. Whitlock went on that incredible run of winning 5 titles in as many months.
127.
He managed to beat Chris Dobie, Gary Anderson, Darren Johnson, all kind of outsiders, apart from Gary Anderson. Two finals, he beat Ronnie Hybrex.
100.
But for the most part, there were lower ranked players he was going up against. It's only that one against Anderson where he managed to overcome a higher ranked player. Well, Mensor is a higher ranked player. And he's got to overcome him here if he's going to claim a second Euro Tour title. And he's given himself an opportunity here if Mensor can't take out the 114. He might do on tops.
Oh. The arms outstretched. Mensor Suljovic flying high once again. Delight for the Suljovic camp, but Whitlock starting things off in leg 4 with a 1-3-4. Yeah, 3 titles last year for Simon Whitlock as well. 2 in the UK Open qualifiers, 1 in the Players' Championship early on in the year as well. It was a really good start to 2017 for Simon Whitlock.
Yeah, but you look at him this year and it's been very hit and miss. You look at the Players' Championship Series and he's not even in the top 32 in terms of the averages. He had back-to-back quarterfinals in Milton Keynes a few weeks ago, not very long ago. And he has had runs, but there's been a lot of board final exits, a couple of first-round defeats.
And maybe some people would put that down to balancing or all of that with the exploits of the Premier League as well.
Yeah, and look, he was ill for quite a long while in the Premier League. I mean, between him and Michael Smith, you're wondering whether they were both going to survive the Premier League at times.
60.
But he has absolutely loved being back at darts top table, back in the world's top 10, back in the Premier League, back winning titles.
45.
Because there was a good 2-year spell when he was on the slide and slipping down the rankings. And there were genuine concerns that we might have seen the best of the Wizard already. Well,
100. Time you require 65.
Maybe not.
And time again, Simon Whitlock did often reiterate that he felt he was capable of returning to the top 4, top 5 in the world, becoming a Premier League player once again. He obviously did become a Premier League player once again. He's not too far away from the top 5 in the world. He's number 8 at the moment. He's got work to do to make up the gaps, but he's certainly making an impact this weekend. Just losing his way here momentarily, and this has just presented a chance for Suljovic to break. Lovely first dart. He's got double 10 now. And Mensor steps in and sweeps up and punishes Simon Whitlock for missed opportunities. 17 dart break of throw, a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, compare and contrast the celebrations in the last 2 legs. Mensor Suljovic taking out 114 to hold his throw with a 15 darter. That got the full
43.
Arms spread wide, celebrating. He knew that was good. That one was a bit of an apology of a celebration because he knows Whitlock should have won that leg.
180.
Well, it's just about all we haven't had in Copenhagen this weekend. The holy grail that is the European Tour 9-darter. Whitlock has threatened it on a couple of occasions. He had 7 perfect darts earlier today.
100.
And the run ends at 4.
37.
Both of these guys cut their teeth, of course, playing darts outside of the PDC.
140.
Mensor played a lot of soft tip. He was a soft tip world champion. Played in various tournaments, you know, played at the Lakeside,
98.
all sorts. Whitlock played a lot of darts down under, was a huge title winner in Australasian darts, and of course went all the way to the Lakeside final. First man to be beaten in the final of both codes of World Championship. He's got to go for it. Got to go for the ball.
61.
And did that just knock him out of his rhythm slightly? By not being aware of where Mensur was.
Can't find the treble 20 that would have left double 19.
Simon, you require 25.
But he's lurking once again, and Whitlock has already been punished for missed opportunities in this final. He's got 2 darts at double 8. Suljovic is lurking, and he's in his favourite corner of the board as well. And Whitlock is now looking at double 4. And Whitlock is breathing a little bit easier after that one, because it's a break back, and we're back on throw at 3-2.
6 flag, Simon to throw first. Game on.
1 break apiece.
Well, we've already seen how the extended format on the European Tour can make a big difference to the outcome of games this year. It did in the very first event of the year, where Peter Wright in the final was first to 6 legs, first to 7 legs, but not first to 8 legs, because Michael van Gerwen pipped him at the post. We saw in the semi-finals here how Mensur Suljovic was 6-5 down to Adrian Lewis. Last year, that would have put AD in the final. Not this year.
74.
Whitlock puts in a 174. Add to the couple of 180s that he's hit already, averaging over the 100 mark, Whitlock. But Mensur is just ticking along in that mid to high 90s range.
34.
And Mensur, he knows that if he ticks along at that and takes his chances, he can win. It doesn't matter what the other guy's throwing. He's been doing it all day.
Weekend. All day and all weekend. And Mensur knows that. I think he's just happy to be where he is right now. He's in a good place.
140. So you require 157.
And there is an outside chance of a break here for Suljovic as well.
57. And so you require 127.
Great, check out this, the 127. Because that leaves the 17s. And now it's the ball.
102.
Not to be for Mensur.
100.
Beautiful dart. Double top for a level game. Good marker, you think. Not utilised.
He required 25.
Well, we've had back-to-back breaks of throw. We may well have another one here. Suljovic looking at double 10. And Suljovic finding double 10. And it is a third successive break. And it's advantage Austria once more. Now, Mensur, as he so often does, just taking his time, taking a moment.
7 flag Mensur to throw first. Game on.
Just steadying himself for the battle ahead. Still only halfway there. 4 of the 8 legs in
100.
the back.
60.
Mensur obviously enormously popular in Germany, the most successful German-speaking dart player of all time. But Simon Whitlock, a massive German following as well. I mean, you go around to the various Euro tours, and you'll see guys dressed up as Simon Whitlock still turn up. But here in Denmark,
100.
it's been difficult to gauge who's actually the favourite with the fans.
Well, it's evolved, I think, over time, because, of course, we had the high-profile casualties of the day, didn't we? And certainly Peter Wright had a healthy following wherever. I mean, you could go to Ulaanbaatar and Peter Wright would have a healthy following in the crowd.
98.
I think Peter Wright knows where Ulaanbaatar is.
Doesn't matter. He'd shift some merchandise there as well.
He probably would.
But Michael van Gerwen had, you know, more than his fair share of backers here today as well, and this weekend. But they were disappointed. Rob Cross, you know, he's becoming a very popular player to ride on the back of as well, given his success at Ali Pali in December and January.
I just don't think it's been quite as partisan as it has been at other Euro tours. For example, I mean, Adrian Lewis always seems massively popular wherever you go, but I don't think we've seen the barracking at some players that they faced in front of other crowds. I know, you know, you go to Germany, they'll be back in the German, but sometimes crowds just whimsically pick a side in a game. We haven't seen much of that. Seems to have given good support to all of them.
50.
Which is something that all the players have picked up on as well, I think. They've, well, the players that I've been speaking to have really enjoyed what is a very different atmosphere. Denmark has certainly embraced this tournament. The fans have certainly embraced it.
87.
And as you can see over the shoulders of the players, the fans have turned out in big numbers as well. Many who are here tonight were here for the afternoon session today, buying their tickets in blocks and bulk, and it has been a long day for them, and they have been rewarded with a potentially, well, either way, a very big story. But it's a story that is potentially going to end with a win for Mensur Suljovic, the number 6 seed. He is in the ascendancy, 5-2 he leads. But do not write Simon Whitlock off just yet.
97.
Well, the clench of the fist from Mensur suggests he feels that he has done enough to get a lead that he can hold on to. This extended format, it does open doors.
100.
And Whitlock, we know, has been involved in some incredible comebacks.
93.
Been on the wrong side of incredible comebacks. It's Andy Hamilton, Ted Hankey, but the European Championship, won 7 legs in a row to beat Jamie Caven in the last leg decider. He's done this sort of stuff before. Can't write him off because he goes through these patches where he just cannot seem to miss the treble.
Mensur does seem mentally strong this weekend and very stable as well, because he's had to, well, he had a really thorough examination from Adrian Lewis, and having withstood that, I think that really stood him in good stead coming into this final. He's had a little bit longer to get himself ready for this final as well, with Whitlock playing in the second semi. But Whitlock here, look at this, double 10. Oh, 140 checkout, biggest of the weekend for Simon Whitlock.
311 in 6 darts from the Wizard. Conjuring up a perfect couple of visits, but Mensur smacks in another 180.
Whitlock on a high after that 140 checkout, but Suljovic just brings him back down to earth a little bit there. And Whitlock only kicks off with 57 as well, just to even, well, just to completely bring him back down to earth.
59.
Well, Mensur once again averaging just a little bit less than his opponent and leading. And it's because
60.
he is taking out those checkouts at the right time. 114 in the third leg, a massive one. Double 10 has been very useful for him so far in this one.
105.
Yeah, I like that. 25 gets him down to a finish where he would not require the bullseye, so he doesn't have to worry about whether he lays up or goes for it. If he hits 2 trebles, he can go at the outer ring. Sensible darts from Mensur Suljovic.
And you require 157.
He's going to win this leg at a canter by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's got almost 200 points in hand here. And he's taken off a very significant chunk of that as well, and he's left himself double 10.
133, and you require 20.
It's another step in the right direction for Mensur. 2 legs away from the title in Denmark.
140.
Adrian Lewis did miss a match start in the semi-finals against Mensur Suljovic. Darren Webster, well, looked like he had Mensur right where he wanted him.
136.
Peter Wright was a better player for most of their game and somehow contrived to offer up opportunities which Mensur took in the quarterfinals. It's only luck.
100.
If you just keep being presented these chances over and over and over again, and anybody could have taken them. Mensur Suljovic was given little sniffs and he seized upon
99.
them.
Oh, this is devastating stuff. Absolutely devastating from Mensur Suljovic.
Oh, rattled and struggling. 37 scored for the Wizard.
94.
Doesn't get him down to a finish, but it's the second biggest finish in the game.
Very real prospects of another break here. Very real prospects. Because double 14 is so often Suljovic's go-to double when he really wants to just turn on the style and turn the screw. And Whitlock is staring down the barrel here.
11 flag, Mensur to throw first.
Mensur seized the initiative when Whitlock made mistakes in that fourth leg, and he got the break of throw. Whitlock looked to hit back. Fired in those brilliant couple of visits. 311 and in 2 visits.
46.
But immediately, Mensur hit him with a 180, a 13 darter followed by a 12 darter. He has continued to hit around about half of his doubles right the way through this weekend. And the gentle may be cruising towards a second Euro Tour title and a 5th PDC title in total. And weirdly, Mensur Suljovic,
97.
well, there's only one of those 5 titles, if he goes on and claims this, that hasn't been on a big stage. This man is born to play on big stages.
And we mentioned it before as well, a nice variety of venues as well for where Mensur has picked up his titles. Riesa, Cardiff, Gelsenkirchen, Ireland, and now we could be in Copenhagen as well.
58.
Mensur Suljovic is a man who fled Yugoslavia because of the war. He went to Austria as a refugee and became their greatest ever darts player. He came to the PDC and the fans would moan. They didn't like him on Saturday. They said he was boring. They said he was slow.
100.
They said he was awkward and not very good. And look what he's done. He has become the world number 6. He's become a televised tournament winner. And he is about to become a 2-time Euro Tour champion, joining a list of just 6 other players who won more than these titles.
And Mensur Suljovic takes the honours in Denmark. The 46-year-old from Vienna waltzes his way to a second European Tour title. And it's delight for the Suljovic corner and his wife Anissa. A brilliant, brilliant performance. And Mensur Suljovic, having taken out the world number 2 Peter Wright and having taken out the 2-time world champion Adrian Lewis in the semi-finals, takes out the former European champion Simon Whitlock in what was in the end a fairly one-sided final, you have to say. He was quickly into his stride, and even though Whitlock came again with that 140 checkout later on in proceedings, Suljovic just had too much for him, and the number 6 seed adds another title to his CV. He's now got 5 PDC titles under his belt, and he is the winner of the inaugural Danish Darts Open. Copenhagen has been kind to Mensur.
What a magnificent tournament. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, your presentation party. Would you please welcome the chairman of the Nordic and Baltic Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Michael Friedendahl, and the chairman of PDC Europe, Mr. Werner von Molker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute privilege to have performed for you over this weekend. And I'm sure you would like to show your appreciation to our runner-up receiving his trophy and £10,000. What a man, what a player, Simon Whitlock! Well, 48 of the best players in the world assembled to lift this title, and now, ladies and gentlemen, our winner. Receiving the magnificent trophy and £25,000 as we crown him the Danish Darts Open Champion 2018 from the beautiful city of Copenhagen, the gentle Mensah Suljovic.
Mensah, congratulations. I knew that was coming. You have averaged in the high 90s all the way through today. You have beaten some phenomenal players all the time, saying that they were better than you and you couldn't do it.
At every time, maybe I'm changed. I'm focused on my game. My body is here, my wife is here, my crowd is here. I think maybe I'm changed. I mean,
he certainly did win, but what a runner-up we have. Simon, commiserations on losing the final, but this has got to be a great feeling, back playing in a big stage final again after, well, since the Grand Prix, it's your first one.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm over the moon to make the final. Congratulations to Mensah, he was the best player to win the tournament, and I'm proud of him, and I'm so proud to have actually played here in Copenhagen, so what a great tournament. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up, the wizard Simon Whitlock, a former European champion, but the last word has got to go to our Danish Darts Open champion, Mensah Suljovic, your second Euro Tour title, your 5th PDC title in total. Match play's coming up.
I think the next title. It's very hard, really. Everybody play brilliant. This is a very hard job. I tell every time this is no hobby. This is very hard. I walk every day. I walk. Simon see me every day. I see him every day. Practice. I'm so happy, really.
The practice has paid off. Ladies and gentlemen, your Danish Darts Open champion, the gentle Mensah Suljovic.